Hey guys, it's Deirdre from healthyveganlife.com, and today I'm making a video about how to bake and cook without oils. A couple weeks back I made a video about why you may want to avoid oils in your diet, and so today I'm going to show you how to do it. So first I want to talk about the things that you will need in your kitchen to bake and cook without any oils or butters or those kinds of things. So firstly you will need a proper non-stick pan. This one is actually kind of getting old, but there's really great ones out there on the market. They now also have pans with ceramic coating, and they're really strong, they're really good, it seems. So yeah, get a good pan. Secondly, what helps with baking is to get silicone molds. Now, I'll show you what they look like. They're like the strangest things, but when you put a pie into this, you could just easily, take it out like that without having to butter it all up before. And they have all different kinds of molds for this. I have a cake mold or bread you can put in here, and I have some cute little cupcake molds. They're all pastel coloured because I like pastel colours. And then the last thing that you will need is some parchment paper. That I'm sure you know what parchment paper looks like. But you can just put it on baking trays whenever you want to put something in the oven, on a baking tray. Or put them, if you don't have silicone molds, or if you want to use a different kind of mold, you can put baking parchment paper into the pie mold and it will become non-stick like that. Now let's talk about cooking. I usually just use water. I just take my pan, I put water in it, and then I let it boil, and then when it boils I add my onions and I let the water disappear, and then when the water is gone I just separate the onions from the pan, and then I add more water, and I repeat this process until my onions are as brown as I'd like. And you can do this with all the veggies that you want to brown up in the pan. Other things that you can use besides water are vegetable broth, low sodium soy sauce, barbecue sauce. They have, you can use tomato juice, even though tomato juice is kind of acidic, so it makes it kind of difficult for things to boil, but you can use that. It will just take way longer. And when you're making sweet things, you can just use apple juice and other fruit juices like that. If you want to make your food even more crunchy and golden brown, I suggest using the oven. Just put your vegetables or whatever you're trying to brown on a baking tray lined with parchment paper. Add your favorite herbs and spices and just put it in the oven for as long as needed. And just let it grill for a little while as well, and then it will become very nice and brown and you won't need any oils or butter whatsoever. If you want to make things like pancakes or hash brown potatoes or things like scrambled tofu, you will really need a very, very good non-stick pan like those ceramic ones. And then you can just, you don't need to use anything instead of the oil. You can just leave the oil out completely. Another thing that we usually use oils for, that I almost forgot about, is salad dressings. Now, to get that same creaminess that you would get from oil otherwise in your salad dressings, I use soy yogurt, or I use 1 part bean and 1 part water, and I mix that together in the blender to make a really creamy base for my dressings. It may seem strange to use beans in your dressing, but it really works. Just try it out and see if you like it. Now finally, let's talk about baking. There are a couple of different things that you can use in baking instead of oil or butter. My favourite thing that I like to use is unsweetened applesauce, and I like to get these little cups so that you don't have to open up a big jar of it. And I like applesauce because it's pretty neutral. It is a bit sweet, but you don't really notice the applesauce in what you're baking at all. So that's my preferred one. Another thing that you can use is tofu, but tofu is still pretty fatty. It has about 50% of its calories coming from fat. So if you're trying to lose weight, or if you really want to keep your diet very low in fat, I wouldn't recommend this. But this is still a good option. It's neutral and it just works. Next we have bananas. Bananas work very well in baking things. However, they have a strong taste. So whatever you're baking, if you're adding banana, it will taste like banana. So that can be a good thing, but not always. You don't always want everything to taste like banana. So, you know, just you'll have to use your own taste buds in deciding whether you want to use bananas or not. Finally, I've heard that you can use prune puree. I've read about that in Dr. John McDougall's work. But I personally have never used that before. So if you have used this, please let me know in the comments below how that turned out, because I have no clue, but it's apparently very good. One disadvantage of baking without oil is that I have not been able to create really crispy, firm cookies, because I think it is because the butter in cookies usually makes them really firm and crispy. If you're not using butter and you're replacing it with applesauce or banana or tofu or prune puree, these are very soft substances, so your cookies will be soft. It's not a problem when you're baking cakes or pies or muffins, because these are relatively soft substances anyway, but when you want really crispy cookies, I've not been able to do it. That's all I'm saying. I think it's okay, because I'd rather be healthy and lean and have soft cookies than have crispy cookies but be overweight and unhealthy. I hope you guys liked this video. Please hit the thumbs up if you did. Thank you so much for watching, and make sure to subscribe for more of my tips and recipes. If you want to bake and cook without oil, you can check out my recipe ebook that is filled with recipes that are low in fat, oil-free, absolutely delicious, super easy to make, gluten-free or easily made gluten-free. So make sure to check it out, and I will see you guys next week. Goodbye. Ooh, my eyes are blinded by the light.